Recording in progress.
So this is the platinum class for the second day of December. It's a weekly outlook lesson. All right. So what we do here, for those of you who are new, is that we look at the things we got to be aware of for this week, and then we take a look at the alerts that I've just sent out. Maybe there's some questions about that. How did you come up with that, or whatever it is. And then finally, we give the real estate of the week trade, which is a swing trade, which we're looking for 500-600 pips by Friday. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And first things first is pull it up here, the fundies for this week. Okay, today we had ISM manufacturing. Tomorrow we got jolts, and jolts lately has been a big deal. And when you go down here to your IC, and let me go back to it here. And you go down here, you'll see there's a cheat sheet here, all right? Now, this cheat sheet does not have jolts on it because was made before jolts came out and been a big deal. But these are the major things and the triggers that you can just, that's right there in your IC. All right. So if like core CPI, all right. We had ISM today. If we have a 2.5 differential, it moves 70 pips. That's information you have before the trade happens. It's in your IC. All you got to do is pull it out. Now, it might go 90 pips, it might go 40 pips. Who knows what it is? But the average movement range is 70 pips for that ISM. Okay. So I don't have jolts on here because I don't have the data yet, but because it's actually a fairly new fundy. Well, it's an old fundy, but it never did anything, and all of a sudden it's going crazy. All right. So there you go. So it's on your IC there. All right. So be aware tomorrow morning, you need to be flat before jolts. All right. So the New York session, when we open, you need to be flat. We will only have 30 minutes and then we'll be ready for it. Okay. Then on Wednesday, we got ADP, non-farm employment change. All right. So those of you who don't understand what ADP is the largest small business payroll provider in the United States. So their numbers tell you about small business, the local cafe down the street, the diner down the street, the bowling alley, those people, are they putting people back to work? So it's a big deal, and it's a precursor to Friday when we have non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll is the granddaddy of all fundies. In the old days when we first started trading it, the initial one tick candle was 84 pips. 84 pips on a tick chart on a reaction to non-farm payroll. Now it's slowed down since then because they got better at forecasting, or I should say they got better at lying. That's a better way to put it. But at any rate, Friday is a tough day. All right. And by the way, speaking of Friday, this Friday I have a doctor's appointment that's at 8:30. So normally we're not here on Friday, but in an open house we normally are. So what I will do is do a Q&A when I get back at about 10 o'clock. So if you want to put that on your your calendar, I'll try to be here and open the room about 10 o'clock. All right. Now, no guarantees because I don't know what the waiting room is going to be and all that, but I want to be here for especially new people who might be here and have questions and all that. So it'll be just a general Q&A. Okay. Now on Wednesday, we also have ISM manufacturing right there after ADP. So Wednesday is a tough day here, right? That's all there is to it. And then Powell decides to speak before non-farm payroll. So it's going to be a dicey week, folks. That's all there is to it with the fundies that are coming in. Just be smart, move stops more judiciously than normal. There's no guarantee they're going to get the target. There never is any guarantee in that, but it's going to be even tougher this week. All right. So be aware of that. All right, let's take a look at the alerts that I've sent out here now. And let me go back here to the alerts. All right. And so the first thing I did was I sent out the alert earlier this afternoon. And I said, I have the dollar index down, all right? A little early to tell yet. This could go either way. If it reverses, replot the targets in reverse. Let me make sure this stays up here for a second. Hold on. In just a minute here while I do this. And there we go. Okay, so dollar index. I have it down. What is it doing? That. So right now, dollar is showing signs that it is not going to go down. It came over here, was moving down, headed down here, and now you see we got a big bounce. All right, so that means that dollar index is probably going to reverse to the upside. All right, now I do have an extra chart that allows me to look at that. You can create this anytime, anybody who wants to. Just take a a 4 decimal chart, make your own USD dollar index, and now what you'll get is you'll get the oscillators and the three musketeers and the confirmed. So what are they all telling you? Are they telling you up or down? What do they tell you? That's a question. Up or down? First the traders. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate it. Oh, okay. So, all right. So I had it down. All right. So I'm going to send out another alert and say, let me get up here. All right. Real quick. It all takes very quickly. I can be right on top of this. All right. There you go. All right. So we sent that out. Hey, Mark. All right, Mark, remember, you don't use anything but the IC. The IC is pre-programmed. So you don't need to know anything about what the password is or anything like that. It's already pre-programmed. If you've got the IC, you have access. All right. All right. So he was having trouble early with that. All right. So now we're going with dollar up. Okay. So does that mean the GA, which is the first one I sent out, which I just sent out, it didn't go out. I don't know why. Let me pull up the pound Aussie here. All right. So pound Aussie is showing signs of going down. We have a breakout to the downside here. And we got MACD moving down. Any movement down will do that. But pound Aussie follows the dollar. All right. So when I checked everything like earlier, I looked at the dollar, dollar yen, and dollar Swissy, and the dollar Swissy. We're probably going to put a right shoulder in here, and what you're going to have then is a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and then watch for the sell-off. All right. So this is the problem right here. It has not had it. It has not happened yet. All right, so be very cautious about this. All right, that's a dollar Swissy. Now, why do I use the dollar Swissy to validate the dollar? Because the Swiss franc is pegged to the dollar. It doesn't float against the dollar like all the other currencies float against the dollar. They could go up, they could go down, but the dollar and the Swiss are pegged. All right, so when you're not sure about the dollar index, you check the dollar Swissy. And what is the dollar Swissy saying? We're going up. But the problem we have today is that in 35 pips, we're going to hit this left shoulder right over here. All right. So you got to be very cautious. All right. These are all the things you have to deal with as a trader. All right. Yeah, it looks good, man. But what's it going to look like in 20 minutes? Well, I don't know. If it does a right shoulder, we're going the other way. That's why you got to be cautious. All right. So now let's go back to the GA here. All right. Now I have the GA down. And it's sure showing signs of going down. MACD is going down. When we looked at three musketeers, which is when you can't tell what it's doing, you try to prove it through the three musketeers. Yeah, we're going down. We were going down, but we might go up now. No, we're going down with a sideways move. No, we're going down. We're below the T3. We're going down. We're going down. We're going nowhere, and we might close up to go down. So what the chart tells me right now, especially with MACD pushing down, is to hold the GA to the downside. All right. So let me pull that up. And here it is. Oh, and that one more below that. All right. So I have the GA as a sell. Now that, remember, because of what the dollar's doing, it may be critical. Might not happen. I'm going to put a fib on here in the swing high, the swing low, the swing high right here, and that gives me the fibs to move my stop. If it goes, I'm going to the 1.618 and the ATR. Where do I move my stops? You only move your stop if you have a mathematical reason to do so. You don't sit there and go, oh man, I'm up 22 pips. I'm going to go move my stop up 10 pips. That's junk. That's not trading. That's gambling. That's dumb money stuff. Get it out of your head. All right. So just stop it. All right. All right. So I got it down. I don't know if it's going to go down, but I got it down, and the target is right here. The chart says we're still going to do it. Got a breakout here. Entry is at 95.30, and we've already hit it once right here, 95.30. We're looking for that trade right there. All right. Anybody have any questions about it? Any questions? Any questions? The chart says we're going down. I go with what the chart says. Yeah, but it's not correlated. I know, but I go with the chart. Yeah, but I think it's going up. You know, my thinker gets me in trouble. All right, my thinker does. I go with what the chart says. I don't go with what I think the chart says. I go with what the chart says. All right. Now that does mean that occasionally you're not going to get it right. All right. But statistically, over the long haul, the long game, you're going to be right more than you're going to be wrong. All right. So that's it. It's not, you can't be right on every trade. Just get that out of your head. If you think you can be right on every trade, you're probably in the wrong business. All right. All right. So there we go. Back to the alerts. Okay. Next one I sent out was at 4:13. All right. Oh, no, that's Jerry was working on my computer here. 4:13, 4:34. Okay. So I also had the Aussie yen as a buy. Let's see. All right. It goes opposite the dollar. All right. So I have that as a buy. All right. Now, we all know that the dollar is probably turning to the upside, which means this will not go to the upside. All right. So MACD is already telling you we're already set to go down. All right. So I'm going to flip this to the downside. Why would I do that? Because the dollar is going to go down, is going to go up. All right. That's what it tells us. All right. And you already see the start of it right there. All right. So now it's your job to change that. All right. So the target is there. Let me get a fib on here from the swing high to the swing low. Why do I want to do that? Because I need to know where to move my stops. All right. That's what I need to know. All right. If I have a wide open space, that's fantastic. But where do I move my stops? That number, and then when I get close to the target. There's no other place to do it. Just get it out of your head. I'm going to protect 15 pips. I'm going to put a trailing stop on there, 15 pips or something like that. Throw that stuff away. That's dumb money stuff. You got a close and reverse right now. So how do I trade a close and reverse? 1 pip below that up candle right there is where you're in, and there's the trade right there, moving your stop here and moving your stop here, and then finally when it's down here. All right, so limit price is 98, 90, what do I got? Yeah, what's this 97 stuff? Okay, that's good. Limit price 98. What's going? Oh, it was a buy. That's one. It was a buy. I'm switched to a sell. Okay. All right. Anybody got any questions about that one now? All right. Now we just flipped that one. All right. Earlier today, I do it at the deadest time of the night, which is at 5 o'clock. Nothing is happening at 5 o'clock. The spreads widened to 50, 80 pips, and that's because of them doing swaps. And as soon as that's over in 1 hour, then the market decides what it's going to do. All right. Anybody got any questions on that one? Everybody good? Well, you're good. Next one is your yen. All right. Now, your yen ahead is a buy. All right. Now, with dollar going up, this will go down. All right. So you flip it immediately. So it's actually a good thing this happened, because as a trader, you have to make this decision. All right. And you base the decision on correlations if the chart can prove it. Well, it's already been going down, and MACD is already pointing the way to the downside. By the way, those of you who stayed in the trade today or took the trade, it went to target. So did the pound yen, so did the dollar yen. Even though they didn't move in session, they moved after session, which they do quite a lot, which is why we tell you to put your entry orders in and hold them. Don't take them off. Hold them. If the structure is down, you put the sell limits in, sell stops in, and you leave them alone. All right. So I need a fib in here also. Out the other way, swing high, swing low, swing high, right there. These are the only two places I can move my stop. Any place else, I'm a gambler. If I move my stop at the 382, I'm a trader. If I move my stop at the 618, I'm a trader. If I move my stop when I hit the the limit, I'm a trader. If I move my stop because I want to protect 15 pips, I'm a gambler. I am not a trader. I'm a gambler. All right. So there we go. We switched that one. All right. And the last one, that's it. I only had three tonight. And you say, why did you only put three out? Because it was so ambiguous. There's nothing concrete yet. We're starting to get some information just now starting to get some information. Well, I did this 2.5 hours ago, 3.5 hours ago. All right. So a lot has changed in 3.5 hours. All right. Right now it's showing a sign of going up. Maybe we'll get this trade up to the upside tonight. Now, remember, here's what you always got to remember. The space between the targets is uncontested. All you got to do is go back and spend a day doing that and go, I wonder if they're uncontested. 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 See that? All right. So after you do 300 of these, you won't have any question about whether they're uncontested. You will know that they're uncontested. That means you don't miss them. All right. That's what a lot of traders do. They talk themselves out of a good trade. Oh, there's a wide open space up there. Yeah, but man, it's pulling back on me. I'm up 20 pips. I'm going to click out. I'm going to take my 20 pips. All right. You're a gambler. You're not a trader. You're a gambler. All right. So you got to stick with your plan. All right. I'm just watching my team, University of Texas, play Texas A&M for the first time in 11 years. It's an old rivalry. And what did they do? Stuck to their plan. All right. That's what they did. They stuck to their plan. All right. All right. So it's the same thing here. It doesn't matter whether it's football, European football, rugby, golf, whatever it is, you got a plan and you execute the plan. If you don't have a plan, you're a gambler. If you have a plan, your job is to execute the plan. That's it. All right. Anybody got any questions? There's only three tonight. Any questions on any of those? Everybody good? Okay. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. All right. All right. So our job now is to find the real estate of the week trade. All right. So those of you who are new in here, we look for a swing trade every Monday night. All right. And what we're looking for is something that will go 500 plus pips by Friday. All right. That's what we're looking for. All right. So the things that currencies that have the greatest opportunity of going 500 pips in the next couple of days are the larger ATR currencies. So we start with those, right? So we go down to the ATR. Now, if you don't have the ATR, you're going, oh, I don't know. Wow, how do you find those things? Well, you got to have the ATR. Right? Well, why do I want the ATR? Because it's statistically probable. I trade statistical probability. I don't trade, I think it's going up. I think it's going down. I trade the statistical probability. Trading is statistics in action. You have to understand the statistic. How do I learn the statistics? You go do every single thing that could happen in the Forex and you do it 300 times. Scientists tell us that you need 300 images. And actually now they're saying 400, but I'm going to still stick with 300. They used to say 300, now they say 400. You need 300 images in your brain so that your brain can build, first of all, a highway to that folder that's got all that information in. And number two, so your brain has the ability to make the statistical probability out of what you're looking at based on the past. If you don't do that work, you're not going to be a trader. You're going to be a gambler, but you're not going to be a trader. All right. So the big currencies that we got are right here. We got 114 on the Aussie yen. All right. So we got to have over 100 pips. We got 158 on the Swiss yen. Ooh, that's a big one. Got 179 on the euro yen. I got, let's see, 114 on the pound Aussie. I got 202 on the pound yen. 202 pips. We got to take a look at that. Pound New Zealand's 138 pips right there. And anything else big like that? Oh, dollar yen is 161. That's plenty of opportunities. We got one, two, six of them, right? So now our job is to eliminate which one of those six currencies that have big ATRs and can get the target. What we got to eliminate those that don't have the room. Right. So we're going to start over here in the pound yen. Right. So pound yen. Right. Now dollar going down means that the pound yen will go to the upside. Right. Dollar going up. Excuse me. That means it could go to the downside. Where are we going? Well, there's the day chart bottom. We only got 90 pips to the bottom. That's not 500 pips. So we walk away from it. Even though it is a big ATR, the day chart bottom is what we're looking for, right? So pound yen is not on the table tonight. EJ, where are you? All right, EJ, here's the day chart bottom down here. This is why when you first set up the charts, you go, well, why do I need to know where the bottom is? Well, what if you're going to do a real estate of the week trade? You better know where the bottom is. You better know where the top is. And in fact, if you're going to trade, you better know where you are inside the bottom of the top. All right. So what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 T30s, 210 pips. It's a great intraday trade, but it's not a swing trade. All right. So we walk away from that one. We go over to UJ. Now, one thing to remember about the dollar, the yen crosses is when they get a chance to go down, you might get intervention from the Bank of Japan because the Bank of Japan's agenda is to drive the yen up, all right, because it's too low cost. It's too low right now, all right? So any chance they get, they're going to push it to the downside. Well, let's go up here to the 60 and take a look at it. And today, the dollar going up, it's going up, all right? So we'll get rid of this stuff to the downside right here. Get rid of it. Okay, so we did have a trade this morning. I'm going to leave that on. All right, so where are we going to the upside? Let me get rid of this channel here. All right, because if we're reversing, we're not doing the down channel. All right, I go up to the day chart, and then I'm going to look at just a 360. All right, so that top is up here. We're going to raise it up a little higher now that they put this top in up here. Get rid of that and move it. All right, so if we're going up, this is the top. We bring out a calculator. So there's real rocket science here. We take the calculator, we find the top, which is at 156.97, 156.97. We subtract where we are now, 149.91, and that equals 706 pips. So if it goes up to the top with the dollar going up, we got 700 pips. That definitely makes it a real estate of the week trade. Right? Let's go over to the AJ. I'm not going to work it up. We're eliminating currencies at this point. We only want to work on the 1 or 2 or maybe 3 if we're lucky that have the opportunity to go to a big target. All right, I'm going to go up here at 240 and all right. So Aussie yen should be trying to go up. I had it down. All right. So I had it up. Now it's going down right tonight. All right. So where is it? Here's the bottom right here. It's only about 200 pips away. So it negates itself. It's out of it's not there. All right. Swiss yen. All right. Where are we going? My charts are slow. Is everybody else having slow charts like this? Is everybody seeing slow charts like this? Yes, no. Question. Yes, Kay. No, Robin. Okay. Anybody else? Steve, no. Larry, yes. Beverly. Well, if everybody's not having it, it may be due to where we are on the internet. All right. All right. So the only trade we would have on the Swiss yen would be to the upside. Why? Because we just took out the day chart bottom. All right. So the question is, are you going to bounce? All right. If you're going to bounce, you're going up to here. All right. So we'll take this off, get rid of it, get rid of the downside stuff. All right. Don't keep anything on us to the downside if you anticipate it going up. Don't keep anything to the upside if you anticipate it going down. I'm going to get rid of this fib here like this. All right. And as we see, we're at a bottom. All right. So I'm going to need to fib that from the swing low, to the swing high. Why? Because we might be going up. All right. So now my job is to go over here and prove that they know the numbers. Do they know the numbers? Do they know those numbers? Do they know that number? Do they know that number? Do they know that number? They know the numbers. That means they're going up. They'll know that number, that number, that number, that number, that number, and the top, obviously. All right. So the question is, if we get a buy here, how far are we going? And is it a swing trade? Well, it's a simple matter of taking your calculator out. It's at 177.19 is the top, and we're currently at 168.82. Rocket science, 837 pips on the Swiss yen to the upside. Whew, that's a big trade if it happens. Big monster. Yeah. You say, well, what will happen on that? Well, K will make about 10,000 pips on that. That's what K will do, right? Larry will probably make about 6,000 pips on. You wish. Yeah, exactly right. All right. Because they will not deviate from the plan. They will create a plan, they will put the plan in place, and they will execute the plan. That's a trader, right? That's what a trader does. What does a dumb money do? They wishy-washy. Oh yeah, but it's going to stop me, man. I'm gonna take my 22 pips and go home. And that's why there'll never be a trading. Right? So will we get a bounce? I don't know. Here's a big deal. Look at that MACD. Does it say anything about going up? It doesn't say a thing about going up. Not one thing. All right. But with dollar going up right now, that should go down. All right. So if dollar's going up, this should go down. Where's the next target? Down here. All right. So how far is it? That's not very far. All right. So switch at 837 to the top, but to the downside, all right, which should continue because the Swiss yen goes opposite. You say, well, how do you know that? Well, you've got a deal here. All you got to do is go to your IC, not the cheat sheet. Oh, that's the home page. You pull up the correlations, and it'll tell you. Click on it, and it brings up this little deal here, and you can look at it. Okay, CJ, what does it do? It goes opposite of the dollar. AJ, what does it do? It goes opposite of the dollar. New Zealand yen, opposite of the dollar. EJ, opposite of the dollar. GJ, opposite of the dollar. Okay? So this is statistically probable. Doesn't mean it does it every time because nothing does it every time. All right? So know your correlations. All right? So if the dollar's going up, this should break to the downside. So where would it go? We're currently at 168.78, and we subtract this bottom, which is at 165.52. 165.52, and we got 326 pips. So it's not on the table, right, at all, right, to the downside, right? So I'm not going to do the 837 to the upside. I'm going to walk away from it, right? And we got pound Aussie next, all right? So pound Aussie, we're looking for a break to the downside. However, what's the deal? The problem is that's against the dollar. The pound Aussie goes with the dollar. It goes up. It's showing signs of going down, but it's above the zero line here, right? And this could easily bounce and go to the upside. All right. So if it did, where is it going? Right up here, you can see it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 210 pips there. That's all. That's it. A T30 is 30 pips. Another 30, another 30, another 30, another 30. Well, I'm on MT4. I don't have those things. That's correct. You don't have the information you need to make business decisions in a Forex. You're trying to use free charts, which cost you nothing. You think it costs you a fortune, all right? Because they do not give you the information. That's it. Nothing there to the upside, all right? Well, it's to the downside. It's still an intraday trade to the downside if it goes, right? But if it goes up, it's only 200 pips. You say, well, that's a lot of money. Well, there's not a lot of in a swing trade. Let's look at the pound New Zealand. All right. Now, pound New Zealand should be going up. It's trying right now to push up here. All right. So pull the calculator up again. And the top is right up here at 21885. 21885. Subtract where we are right now. 21537 equals 348 pips. There's not enough room there. So there's only one currency that we can trade, and that's the dollar yen. All right. So see, we found a bunch of currencies that have big ATRs, but that's not where they're going. All All right, so we got dollar yen to the upside here. And the dollar going up, that should make the turn and make it go up. All right. So I'm going to get rid of the downside stuff here. All right. And here's the point. The point of this is I want you not to learn this trade. I want you to learn how to recognize the trade by yourself. So when you're sitting there all by yourself and all of a sudden you go, holy cow, I got 700 pips to the top and the dollar's going up and the dollar yen's going up. Could I trade this as a real estate of the week trade? Yes, I could. How do I do that? All right, that's the key. All right, not this trade. It's every trade you make from now on in the future. That's a real estate of the week trade. And your job is to see them. All right, so you can see here's the big area. All right, here's what I got right there. That's huge right there. If it decides to go up there, it's going to be a monster trade. Will it go up there? I don't know. I don't have a clue. All right. But I know dollar's going up and the base currency here is the dollar. All right. So the fibs are good because they're proving them. See, now, if they weren't proving these fibs, I would put new ones on from the swing low to the swing high. But because they're proven, hey, we're going to use these numbers. We don't care. We don't have to change them. All right. So I don't change them. All right. All right, so if this is the bottom, where are we going? All right, so what helps us here is the HSI, because once we have a bottom or a top in place, let me do the top down. Once you have a top in place, you just click one place. That's all I got to do is click one place. Oh, do they know it? Do they know it? Did they know it? Did they know it? Did they know it? They knew it. See that? They knew each one of those. Remember, the space in between them is uncontested. The space in between them is uncontested. The space in between them is uncontested. All right. Well, yeah, but they didn't use the HSI here. No, but they used the fib. All right. Your job is to use all the information that is in the charts. All right. Well, I don't do that. My RVI didn't turn over yet. My RSI is still doing nothing. My slow stochastic's oversold, man. All that doesn't work. That's why you got to quit it. None of that works. If you're still doing it, quit it. And only you can quit it. I can tell you, but only you can do it. All right. So we're going to get rid of the downside stuff here. And we're going to the upside. Oh, we got a bottom in place. There it is. We go to the bottom, we go up, and there it is. Now, we don't have enough information to get more than this on here. Because what we actually need is we need a move up, a move down, and then that. And that will give us the ability to use a fib on here, here, and here to project the targets in this direction. We do not have them yet, all right? But we do have an HSI. Oh, yeah, that HSI looks pretty cool. Well, if you spend a day doing the HSI, you'll freak out on how accurate it is, all right? You go, oh, yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, well, we'll just go over here. This is the dollar yen. Let's go over here to the majors. I'm going to pull up the dollar yen, and I'm just going to prove it to you, all right? I'm going to go up here just to a 60-minute chart, which is where the bankers trade. Get rid of everything here, and we're going to say, okay, big long move to the downside. Let's see where it was going. Here's the top. Pop a fit, put the HSI on, and that's all it is the Forex sequence, Fibonacci sequence, sorry. You can go to the downside instead of the upside. That would help. Do they know the line? 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 Do they know the line down here? All right, so it doesn't change. All right, they knew the line right there. Now, the space between them is uncontested. All right. UJ, yesterday's daily candle is a doji. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. All right. I wonder if they knew the line. What do you think? God, gone that Scott. He's so stinking lucky. It went right down to the target and stopped dead right there. You see, this is why you got to use tools that will make you a better trader. You don't use a piece of charts that tell you nothing. You've got to have tools that tell you what they're doing, what they statistically do, and then you can take advantage of it. Well, yeah, but the MT4 is free. Yeah, it's free. It costs you a fortune. All right. So here we are. If we did go down, we're looking for the S7 now. All right. See that? All right. We're actually looking for a reversal here because of the dollar. Will the dollar continue up? I don't know. Is it going to go up to the top? I don't know. But the chart says that's what we're going to try to do. All right. So there we go. All right. Yeah, it could be. Exactly right, Robin. Let's put that on. Possible, maybe falling wedge. Could be. At any rate, we know that the dollar is going up, and we know the base currency here is the dollar. All right. So if the dollar is going up and the base currency is the dollar needs to go up. Will it do it? I don't know. It doesn't have to, but because it's not pegged to it, but it normally follows that correlation. All right. All right. So there we go. All right. So how do we trade this thing? All right. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to go down here now to a 60-minute chart. You can see it a lot better here. And in fact, I want to adjust this line here to this right here. So you got a falling wedge, all right, falling wedge for a bounce for a big trade of 700 pips to the upside. All right. Now, I don't have enough information yet to put this on, but I'm gonna start with this, even though I'm gonna adjust it later. PPH decided to start at 149.07. I don't know, the bottom's right here. That's what I'm here. Oh, maybe a little lower. Yeah, that's the right thing. Yeah. Let me see, put it on there. What's I tell her? Fetch, go fetch the targets. Do they know that one? They knew that one. Do they know that one? They know that one. Will they know that one? Yes. Will they know that one? Yes. Will they know that one? Yes. Will they know that one? Now, I want you to see also, because it's a Fibonacci sequence, the space between the contested areas gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You see that? You don't miss those big areas. That's where you make your money. Right? That's where you make your money. You'll make money in the R1, R2? Heck no. There's not enough space there. But the space between the R2 and R3, don't spend a day, do this. How many times when they get a chance to run from the R2 to the R3, do they do that? They run it in 1 or 2 candles. How do I know that? I've done 700 of them. Actually, I've done 20,000 of them, but I did 700 at one time or 600, whatever it happened to be. So I learned it. I didn't learn it because somebody said, it's always going to go to the R3, man. No, I don't know that. So I go do the work. That's the job of being a trader. You want to be a professional trader? You do the work. I don't want to be a professional trader. I want to be a gambler. Okay, quit the Forex. Take your money to Blackpool, go to Reno, go to Atlantic City and gamble. Don't do it in the Forex. We don't do that stuff. All right. So I am going to get a fib on here, but I'm going to, once I get a pullback, I'm going to change it. All right. We've got a swing low, swing high, and a swing low way down here. And that's the problem. It's down low here. So what I really wanted to do is I wanted to come up, break up in here, and then pull back down in here. Then I can click here, here, and here, and get realistic targets up in here. For now, I'm going to use these. All right. But I'm not anticipating using them for long. All right. All right. So how do I trade a real estate of the week trade? It all depends on this trade. Trade number 1. When that breaks out, there's trade number 1, there's trade number 2, there's trade number 3, there's trade number 4, there's trade number 5, there's trade number 6. All right. See how easy it is to see them? Once you put the lines on. Now remember, I'm going to change these lines later on. These fibs, because I want a better fib, but I'm going to start with these. All right. So trade 1 is right here. It is the key to the whole trade right there. Trade 1. Trade number 1's job is only to do one thing: create profit to reduce the risk on trade 2, on trade 3, on trade 4, on trade 5, and on trade 6. You put the trade 1 in with that limit on it right there. That's what you put it on to start with. All right. Now, what do you do next? Okay. I go and I put an entry order here, an entry order here, an entry order here, an entry order here, and an entry order here. Okay, when do we put those in, okay? I set her up now. You put them in now. Yeah, but the currency's not even out of the falling wedge. And then, that's not, you're committing to a trade. That's what you're doing. You're committing to the trade. You're finding the levels, right? The banker's levels. And you're saying, if you, Mr. Currency, Mr. Banker, whatever you want to call him, if you break in this area, because I have done the work and I know that that's uncontested. I've done the work and I know that's uncontested. I've done the work and I know that's uncontested. I've done the work and I know that's uncontested. All right. So what do? You put them in now, because if they clip it, they're going to go to the next one. If they clip it, they're going to go to the next one. If they clip it, they're going to go to the next one. Why are they going to do that? Well, you'll know that when you do 300 of them. You won't know that if you don't. All right. So once we get this going, if it does, and there's no guarantee it is, the dollar could flip tomorrow and go to the downside. But if it continues up, this is the trading opportunity. It's 706 pips. How many pips will I make on that? Oh my gosh. Well, I'll just show you with only 3. All right. And we got a whole bunch more than that. All right. Back to the home page. All right. We put the trip calculator on, and we only have the ability to do 3 because we entered it intraday trade. Right? If my first entry is the break of the falling wedge and above this R2, so it's at about 150, 150.06, maybe 150.06. All right. You say, well, where'd you come up with that number? All right, let me show you here. All right. So this number right here is 149.92. Now I can't trade into a 150 number because there are barrier options sitting on that. So I have to break the 150. How much do I have to break it by? Well, it's different on every chart, but in this case, I'm going to give it 6 pips to prove that it's real. All right, that's it. All right. So my target price is 156.97. 156.97. Let me get rid of this. I don't need the decimal point. 06. All right. So we'll give you a number till you put trade 2 in. Trade 2 is above the R3 at 150.51. See, I'm just taking that number, so I'm going to go 150.52. 150.52. All right, there we go. All right. If I only make these 3 positions, the entry and the second position, I don't add anything more in here. What's this number right here? Anybody like that number? That's with only 2 positions in it. I'm prepared to put 5 in. You wonder how K made 6,000 plus pips, and then another 4,000 plus pips, and another 2,000 plus pips, and there Larry made 1,800 pips, and John made 1,400 pips, and Robert made 1,800 pips. How do they do that? This is how they do it. See? Yesterday, if you see it, that's right. So only 2 positions in here will make me 1,981 pips. Anybody interested in that? All I got to do is put 2 positions in here and hold it to the top. Now, why would I ever do that when I got a wide open space here, and I got a wide open space here, and I got a wide open space here? Well, I got 3 more positions I can put in. What will this number be if I do that? And it goes. Now, I don't know if it's going to go, but if it goes, it's going to be in the 5,000-6,000 pip range. All right? 1 trade, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 pips. And what are we doing as traders? Oh, I got 20 pips today, man. I'm awesome. I'm a winner today. Yeah, you're a winner. You just won the battle. You just lost the war. Right? You can't be a trader doing that. You got to change. You got to have a paradigm shift. Totally got to have a paradigm shift. And we do this every week. Every Monday night, we sit here and try to find one. Do they always go? No, they don't go. Some of them do, some of them don't. But when they go, we make a ton of pips. Will it go all the way up here with the dollar going up? I don't know that. Does anybody know that? No. But I know if it does, this is how it's going to do it. And this is an A contested area, that's an uncontested area, that's an uncontested area. All right. So what do? I put those entry orders in first. Scott, give me the number. No, I'm not going to do that. Why? It doesn't teach you anything. You go find the number. Go put them on your chart. Find the number. You're going to have to do that by yourself. All right. Well, yeah, but I want you to give it to me. Yeah, I'm not teaching you to fish then. I'm teaching you how to follow some stupid guru. I'm not a guru. Don't do that. All right. So the whole key on this trade is trade one, right there. You hold that trade. All right. When would I move my stop? I would not move my stop except to break even right here. Once I get trade two in right here, get the right tool, Scott. Once trade two goes in, I move the stop to break even. When will I move it again? When I'm approaching this top right here. I'll move my stop to here. All right. I don't want to crowd this thing because you have watched currencies as they go up and down. All we got to do is go over here and watch as they go down, up, down, up, down. All right. So I got to live through these pullbacks on trade one. Well, I can do that if I got 200 pips. I can't do that if I got 20 pips. All right. So that's why I don't do that. All right. So there you go. All right. So this is the real estate of the week trade right here. Up, and the target is at 156.97. Let's hope that happens. It'd be nice to happen in an open house and watch as Kay and Daniel and Robin and Peter, all those guys start popping in their trades. Now we will count their trades intraday. All right. Now, what do they do? Here's the big question is, okay, but it's not going to go straight up. That's right. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. All right. These down moves, trade one has to live through. All right. And that's going to be the hardest thing you ever did. The space between here, right here, if it stood here, is 1, 2, 3, 4. 120 pip pullback. You're going to have to live through that 120 pip pullback. Be one of the hardest things you ever do. Because your right brain is going to go, man, if you don't take this off, you're going to lose 120 pips. And that's what your brain's going to tell you because it's a right brain function. And your left brain says, no, 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 we already got a plan here. We're going to execute the plan. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take all my positions off and I'm going to put them in the bank with the exception of trade one. And trade one is going to sit here at break even. All right. If it pulls down 120 pips and makes a turn to the upside, I'll add a position here. Got to keep getting the wrong tool. I'll add a position here. I'll leave my entry orders in. And if it goes up, I'm fine. Now, there are going to be times when you're going to watch and you're going, what's going to happen here? Okay, you're trading this up. It's got a wide open space. You're up in profit on trade one. You're headed up here and it's late in the day. All right. You got an entry order sitting right here for that trade right there. What do? I yank it off. I take it off until after the pullback. As soon as the pullback happens, I put it right back on right there. All right. Because I don't want to get wicked in and live with 120 pip pullback. Does everybody understand that? There's a lot of work that has to be done. Kay will tell you, Larry will tell you, they'll all tell you. There's a lot of work. Once you get one of these going, you do not want to lose it. Caught in that many times. Exactly right. So you make a decision based on risk. The risk is they're running out of sellers, buyers. They're going to exit the trade. I'm going to bank these trades right here, except for trade one, which I don't take off till it hits that line. Trade one does not come off till here. Don't forget that. That's the key to the whole trade is trade one. When will trade hit one happen? Maybe in the next 10 minutes. You see that? We could get to trade one in the next 10 minutes. When does it come off? Here. When will that happen? Friday. What do I got to do? I got to hold that. Why do I hold that? Because it covers the risk of all additional positions I put in. How would you like to trade up to here And after trade one, you trade riskless. There is no risk to your account. How would you like to do that? That's what a swing trade does. That's why bankers do them. That's why bankers do them. Because after the third position goes in, you cannot lose if your stops are moved. You cannot lose after the third position. Well, yeah, that's 700 pips. Yeah, I got three positions in, and I got three more going in. Six positions for 700 pips. I'll make 4,000 pips out of this trade. That's what I'll do. Right? And if you're new, you're going 3,000 or 4,000 pips. Are you kidding me? I'm used to making 5, 8, 10. That's because you're trading like a retail trader. Don't trade like a retail trader. Learn to trade like a pro. Pros don't trade that way. They do not click out for 5, 8, 10 pips. Right? They do not. They hold for the target. So there you go. So this is the real estate of the week trade up, and it's the only one we got. Put a little note on here. REOTW up. We'll see how it works. Now, they don't all work. They don't all work. They could come up here a little ways, and then finally the dollar says, okay, we're done. Jokes comes out tomorrow, it's negative, and it goes to the downside. ADP comes out Wednesday, it goes to the downside. There are a lot of things that can happen here. So what do? Our goal is to get trade one to break even. That's our goal. Get trade one to break even. As we add positions, our goal is to see, are they going to continue or not? We're aware of the wide open spaces, and we do not want to miss the wide open spaces. They're sitting right here, which we can see right now. I'd actually extend that up to here. Now I'd take it down to here and do the next one up to the target. So all these got to go in except for trade one. Trade one, trade two goes in now. Trade three goes in now. Trade four goes in now. Trade five. Why did that happen? Why do we do that? Because this space is uncontested. That's uncontested. That's uncontested. That's uncontested. They'll run it. So how do you know that? Well, you got to go do 300 of them. But all you got to do is go back here. All it is come back here for 2 days. What do? Here's the fib. Here's their fib right here. They broke the fib. Where did they go? To that one. Was this uncontested? Absolutely it was. Here's why you got to go, at the end of the day, I have an entry order in down here, but it's not going to make it. All right. So I pull this one off until it pulls up. And then I put the trade back on here for the next move to the downside. See that? That's what you do. All right. They're all uncontested. All right. Go back in the past. They're using these fibs. All right. So go back here and take a look at them here to the upside. All right. All right. Here's the fib right here. Here's the next one. What do? Uncontested areas. See, that's what happened. Even these ones, they're trying to make it go, they don't. So they pull back and then they go ahead and make it happen. This is where you got the problem. You're in trade one. You take trade two right here to the upside right here, and it doesn't go. You've got to live through that. You got to live through that. And then when you get down here and you see it bounce, you got to add a position here for that trade right there. Right? So there's a lot to do. All right. So if you've never done one, you want to trade it with one dime per trade, no more than that, because you are going to go through the most incredible experience of your life trying to hold on to these trades. But it's going to teach you how to stay in a trade to target. And it's going to teach you that you got to go back in the past and go, you know what? They run these things. I can see that when they get a chance to run from one fib to the next, they run it. They pull back, and what do? Run it. All right? See that? Uncontested area. How big is that? It's only 250 pips. That's all. Just 250 pips. That's all. All right? So what you got to do is you got to put the data that happens in the chart every day to work for you. All right? It's not a guessing game. It's not my RBI went over. My RSI is saying this. All that doesn't work. None of that works. Get it out of you. If you've got it on your charts over an MT4, yank it off. Yank it off because it's lying to you. It's lying to you. So spend a day, all right, go into a chart. That's why we give you all these QL charts. Let's go pull up the pound dollar, all right? Remove all the charts here, remove all the tools. I'm just going to go up here to a 60-minute chart, not very high. And all right, so we're going to do this move to the upside. All right, so all I'm going to do is an HSI. What if the only thing I had was an HSI and I knew the direction? If I knew the direction was up, all I know is it's going up. Part line proven. All right. So I got two things on this chart. That's all I got. Two things on this chart. Well, where's the RBI? I don't have it. Where's the Hachi Hakamaka Mumuko thing? I don't have it. All right. All I know is the space between the targets is uncontested. All right. Now they don't always get there. The bigger the space, the harder it is to get to the top. So most likely they're going to pull it back to get to the top. That's it. Pull back here. They don't get to it here. What are they going to do? They pull back. They pull back. But where do they go? To the target. Here's the wide open space. Here's the wide open space. Go do it 300 times. You'll never doubt yourself again if you do it 300 times. Well, I did it 20. That's good. That's not good. That's not good. You got to do 300 of them. That's not me telling you that. That's neuroscientists tell you that. Neuroscientists say, in fact, they say it's 400 now, unless you can figure out how to make a game out of it. It only takes 20 repetitions if you can figure out how to make a game out of it. All right. But if you don't have a game, it's 400, they say. That's what neuroscientists say. I still stick with 300. I think 300 is fine. All right. But go do it. All right. Oh, well, what about this move to the downside? I don't know. Gee, that looks pretty good. Let's just put the HSI on from the top. All right, because they're going to run the Fibonacci sequence. Scott told me they're going to run the Fibonacci sequence to the S1, to the S2, to the S3. Missed the S4 by 3 pips. Come on. Oh, Scott says the area between them is uncontested. The area in between them is uncontested. The area is uncontested. Why do you think I can just go pull back over here and go, let me show you, and go over here and grab one? Anyone. It doesn't matter to me because it's going to do it. I know the statistical probability. It's going to do it 90% of the time. I can't trade it 90%. So therefore, if I do something that does 90% of the time, I'm going to automatically increase my pip capture and my win rate. Well, yeah, but your RBI didn't turn over. Your RSI wasn't there. All that is junk. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Doesn't work. All right, I was on my soapbox there for a minute. I got to get off that. All right, so you had a sermon. Jerry's a pastor, so you usually get a sermon from him, but you got one from me today. Ooh, look at this big move. I wonder what this one did. Just out of curiosity, let's check it. Let's see if they knew the lines. S2, S3, S4, S5. You gonna get to the S6? Nope, I gotta get there. But what do I see? I instantly see this. Yep, they ran it. Yep, they ran it. Yep, they ran it. You see that? You do what they do, but I got to know what they do, which is why I got to spend the time in the past. For every 1 hour you spend trading live, you spend 3 hours in the past, working on a weakness, something you don't easily see. Well, Scott, I don't see those ABCs. You always show me those ABCs, but I don't see them. Well, go spend a day doing ABCs because there's lots of variations. Here's an ABC. All right, what is it? It's a corrective pattern to go to the downside. Oh, well, yeah, it worked over there pretty well. Yeah. What about flags? Flags. Oh, yeah, you're right. Flags, that continues to move. Yeah, I can see that. See? It's about understanding the statistical probability. Trading is not complex. I mean, excuse me, it's not complicated, but it is complex. I got to understand the complexity. That means I got to do the work. Yeah, but I don't want to do the work. I just want to trade. Then you're not going to trade very long because you're trading against professional sellers, professional buyers who make millions of dollars doing this. All you got to do is figure them out. Well, it's not very hard. If they get an uncontested area, they're going to run it. Well, yeah, but they don't always go down there, but they always put a pattern in that says we're going to finish it. We're always going to put a pattern in that says we're going to finish it. We're always going to put a pattern in that says we're going to finish it. We're always going to put a corrective pattern that says, yeah, we're doing an ABC, which means we're going down. See, if I understand ABCs and flags, I could have traded this whole thing right there and made a couple thousand pips. What's the problem? I didn't do the work, so I don't know that. I don't know that the space in between there is uncontested. I don't know that because I've never done the work. You got to go do the work. Just that simple. It's not about Scott. I can show you what to do, but I can't make you do it. That's all there is to it. All right, folks, we got us a real estate of the week trade, and it's the dollar yen on one condition that it goes up. That's it. It's trying right now. It's trying to go up. Will it break out of this falling wedge? I don't know. But if it does, there's trade. That's today's trade. With trade one being here, of which the only thing you got to think about is that's uncontested. And once they go up there, they're going to have a pullback, and then they're going to go again. My only job is to take my stop, which is down here, and move it right under here, and then I sit on it. The next time I'll move my stop is once we get in this area up here. I'm not touching that trade one at all. Yeah, but you're up 90 pips, man. Don't you want to protect that? No, I don't. I don't want to protect it because I've got 5 trades to the upside that require that the first trade stay in profit and doesn't get taken out. If it gets taken out, I got to start all over. All right, that's the whole key. All right, anybody got any questions on all that? Everybody good? Yes? No? Good. Okay. All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Be careful. We got thanks, Daniel. We have a announcement in the morning in the New York session, so be ready for that. All right. I'll see all of you tomorrow.